Hey, what's up? So recently my friend made a nice presentation in Python for me, and I decided I want to try it out. I have never written more than 5 lines of Python code, and this time around I decided to maybe start converting some of my Rust code into Python just to see how easy that really is and just how well Rust code overlaps with Python. So the very first thing I actually want to do is I want to read a JSON file into Python, and then I will start creating the structs to handle that JSON file. And eventually, I want to build the goal-oriented planning or GoApp, GOAP, whatever the pronunciation is, into Python. So I will be googling a bunch. Um, So Python read JSON into dict. I have researched some of this stuff before, and I'm quite sure I can easily convert a bunch of code. Alright, so apparently that thing wants me to blah blah blah. I'm quite sure I can just start hacking. So this is in Python 3. I know for a fact that Python 3 is working for me because yeah, I ran this code here and it says hi. So if I do that, and I know that in my local folder here is actions.js, actions.js. So I will read it, and yeah, apparently the data will be loaded. The type of that will be probably a dictionary, and since I know for a fact there's no people, I guess I can get actions and goals. All right, let me search for that. Actions and goals. All right, so if I run it, apparently I can read that. So this is cool. Um, so apparently I was able to read something from file quite easily by just copy pasting. There's a bunch of things they have in here. So what do I do? Um, yeah, I will straight up create a class. I kinda investigated how class definition works. So if I copy paste again, I know a concept of class from many other languages already. So indentation is apparently necessary, and whatever that thing is, self, the name will be literal. All right, so if I, oh, it formatted the code. Okay, if I run this code now, it will give me the goals and then this class output. So this is where I'm starting to think already how I want to structure my code. So in my original implementation, there's actions which kind of correlate with that, right? A cost, pre-state, and blah blah blah. And there's goals. And I'm not sure I need to do that, but I do want to create a class which will initially contain everything at once. So this is a routing which has actions, goals, and world state. Actions, goals, and world state. So I have plan config, and this thing I hope can contain a config, which apparently is not. Oh wait, I will have still this, but yeah, let me see. So apparently defining a function is as easy as saying def. So get data. Oh yeah, let's make a function that will fetch data from file and just load it in there. Or maybe even better, initializing with a file name. Yes, I'm gonna do a very stupid thing. So file name. Oh Jesus, I know this is going to be really tough on you actual Python developers, but the point here is I want to learn quite quickly, and I want to say I want to actually see how easy that language really is. So apparently with indentation, my config should be like this. So this is going to be like the Finder implementation I had in my Rust code, and video about that is somewhere on YouTube's. So this is the config. So the nodes, well, is yeah, config is going to be that data, and self dot nodes apparently should be a simple nodes and self cheapest will be so like here the initialization function, the new function says that this should be a 10,000. All right, so printing that, I want to ask Python to output the cheapest thing I could possibly have. So it reads file, stores it as config, and start defining a bunch of stuff. And if I run it, oh crap, oh, file name. Yes, I wasn't really careful about that. So file name. All right. All right. So I passed in the file name. Bam. All right. So I was able to create it. Nice. So I've had a lot of setups in Rust, and yeah, well, that's quite needed. All right. So this was initialization. I want to execute my code. How do I execute my code? So execute. Oh yeah, there's a self reference in here. All right. So there's a concept. So what did I see? A pass method? Oh, pass thing. So I should pass it just for now. All right. So I need a concept of G node. So this is my G node. So this is a class G node. All of this is not needed in Python. Def underscores. This is weird, but all right. So there's self. This, and I guess I need to move it here, and self. So how did execute think create it? So yeah, it made it like this. I am quite sure this is supposed to be a data class or whatever, but I don't know how to use data classes yet. So this will be, all right, so this will pass an ID. So storing the ID, self coming from a node, self from node. I'm exactly gonna copy paste whatever variables I had. All right, state is a dictionary, so state self dot state is going to be a dictionary, and running cost is going to be equal to running cost, and yeah. Whoop. All right, this is done. So apparently, yeah, I created this. All right, so in execute code, I'm going to make a G. So apparently I can just use whatever name I want as a variable, and it will just be assigned somehow. So this is G node, and ID. All right, string start from node. I guess I can say -1 state. Oh wait, self config. Oh yeah, self config. Oh no, config world state. Oh, it doesn't know. Yeah, I am going to imagine that I live in a JavaScript world. And how do I clone a dictionary? Clone dictionary. A copy. All right. So apparently I can copy. All right, and running cost will be a 0 because I'm just starting with that. Apparently self, so I'm doing this now. Self nodes append G. Nice. So for the printing, I want this to output self nodes. Is there a length? Count. Oh, it's a method. Will it work? Shit. Line 29. Self count. Count takes exactly one argument. What? Alright, so it works. Oh, wait. Alright. Python array length len cars. Alright. Len and another one. Nice. So if I cp1 execute and then run the code, then there should be one. What? Line 24. There's no world state. It should be there. Config is data. Oh, I get it. I cannot access it like this, right? Is this the problem? Nice, alright. So it's not a member of a class or anything, it's a dictionary, so I need to use it like that. Alright, so yeah, alright. So this is that, and I'll need to make sure that I don't forget to write it like this all over the place in my execute method. So I appended the code, and then I'm trying to build a graph. I will actually copy this code. Alright, so leaf is going to equal self build graph. So this was starting index and available actions. So there's no ownership passing into the function config, and apparently this is that, passing in just the actions and no semicolons. And I will print the leaf. So just to mention, I'm not going to implement the entire thing. I'm just going to implement something that will immediately work, and maybe I'll just stop like in the very middle of this function. So there's my build graph method. So let's start just copy pasting a bunch of stuff. So build graph apparently also needs, like in Python, like in the Rust I mean, accept a self reference. Then there's a start node index and available actions. All right. And it's going to return a number for me at some point. All right, so it starts with semicolon. So You know what? I'm gonna copy paste this code. So what does it do? Start node index option is, I guess, nodes. I shouldn't probably do that. I just can reference something by this. If so, how do I do checks? If start node up, should I do this? Is it null? Python um, check for null, none. All right. Um, if var is not none, is not none. Is this the actual code? All right. All right. Apparently, I can just none. And is this the way to start a if? So I will return a -1. Okay, let's maybe, oh yeah, and return a leaf. And the execute will do something and whatever. Um, so how the hell did I use? All right. All right. So at least I will print it. I'm actually covering quite a lot. So this is a none already, but it shouldn't be. All right, so I was right in here. I started to build a graph, return a none, and build graph is this, blah, 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 -1, else. So this apparently is passing, and this apparently can work. So I'll just do that. Leaf is equal to none at this point, right? That is actual thing, right? Should I return just none? Okay, so this is a none. Start node. Yeah, let's reuse every variable I had, and start node is supposed to be start node option. All right. So this is like a lot of code, but yeah, I guess I needed that for my Rust code. Next state base was start node. Option. So this is my start node, from which I took a state. and I made a copy just like here, right? And running cost is this. Uh, yeah, copy paste everything, man. Uh, um, Start node, running cost. This is pretty much um, JavaScript for me at this point. Oops. Now for iterating uh, available actions. So available actions was this. Actions. So I need a key and this. Python iterate dictionary BM, and judging by examples, where is the for loop? For key in a dictionary, key, dict key. Is there a way to decompose? Oh, okay. Now there's a way. All right. So I can do this. Not this, but in available actions. So available actions is coming from the function definition items. Uh, all right. And let's just print key and value. Is it? Can I actually print ln? Uh, how's how's this working? Is it like C? Ooh. Line 46 in execute, which goes to 26. Build graph. Which comes to 38. Start node. Am I missing a declaration? Gnode object is not subscriptable. A what? Oh, I probably created something that I cannot read. So here's a Gnode, and there's a running cost. Start node. Hold on. State. The hell is happening? So let me print this, and I will probably end this soon. At least I want to see if I can at least write Python code without any prior like actual preparation. So there's the object, trace call, blah blah blah, start node state. So apparently, shit, start node is this. Yeah, start node is not a dictionary anymore, so I shouldn't access this like this. All right, cool. so I can carry on. Nice. I want to, so this is outputting a lot of information, change mood, and there's a subdictionary in there. So I'm in here. All right, so here I'm going in, here I'm checking if one dictionary has all the sub-dictionary items and blah, 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 blah. So the main thing is, actually, you know what? Let me uh, show myself. All right. So the main thing here is it's quite easy to read and write Python code, and there's a reason why it's so popular, right? I will most probably continue this code behind the scenes because the majority of code was literally copy pasted from internet by just using um, information on the internet. It's that easy, and I did shoot myself in the foot already a few times just by just not remembering what was what. But in general, it's a cool language. I'm really glad my friend chose it for his career. Cheers.